a young age, Malala has already established a great name for herself. She was able to fight for what she believes in. For her, education is one precious gem that she would never let anyone take it away from her. People nowadays don't see education's significance as much as Malala does. I admire her courageousness and strong faith. She never let anything hinder her chance of pursuing her dreams. I think more people should be able to know her story and realize how lucky they are that they're sent to school without any difficulties. It's inspiring to see that there really are a few people like Malala who really speak up and stand for what they believe in.
Malala made me realize that I should be thankful of what I have and I should be making the most out of it. The Philippines has so many places that are still struggling to provide education because of lack of facilities and lack of funds. And up until now, we still have many out of school children. Malala's advocacy and her courage is so strong that I believe I can make a change by having the right amount of faith, courage, and most especially having a good heart.
Seeing how Malala has fought and put her life on the line for her educational rights, we can see how much she values learning. People these days tend to take education for granted, not realizing that it is something that we should all give extra importance. I admire her courage and her strength that in such a young age and despite her culture, she is able to fight for the things she values the most. She stands ground not only for herself but for all those who had their rights taken away from them. Despite the unfortunate events that has happened in her life, she is still strong-willed to pursue her goals and dreams. We should all learn from her passion and have the same drive to change not only the educational system, but to be driven as well to change the world. It opened my eyes to new issues all around the world, looking at looking at them in a new perspective.
As I watched Malala's story, I literally had goosebumps since her story was very inspiring, especially to a young lady like me, since our age gap isn't that much. I was amazed how she was able to courageously voice out not only her concerns as a student, as a female, but also the concern of others. Knowing that she was shot by the Taliban because of her continuous vocation and effort to fight for the right of education for her fellow young women, and still it didn't hinder her from continuing it, made me reflect and evaluate my life. I began questioning myself. What have I done, or have I done anything to my people? Am I really taking part of the society that I'm in, or am I just merely ranting about the issues that we're facing? Why can't I just be like Malala? What is it in her that I don't have? Then suddenly I was enlightened. Compassion. It was compassion all along. Malala is compassionate enough that she was able to risk everything, even her own life for the rights of the young women she barely even knew. Upon watching this, I was surprised how a girl in this very young age able to inspire others. It is through her selfless act and willingness to serve her fellow countrymen makes her worthy of the Nobel Peace Prize that she received. Lastly, I believe that Malala should be known, especially to young ladies who are abused not only through education, but especially those who are taken advantage of physically and socially. It is time for us to make a stand, to let our voice out, to believe in ourselves, and to fight for our rights. Let us all be like Malala. Thank you.
Malala is such a brave girl to stand and fight for what she believes in, even if her life is already at stake. She's not only fighting for her own sake, but also for the sake of other people or other girls in her community. It's so inspiring to see how important education is for Malala. So, I consider Malala as a modern day hero.
I feel very fortunate because when I saw Malala in that vid, I was very shocked to think that at a very young age she was that brave to actually fight for women's rights and women's education, and to think that she still keeps on going even though the terrorists attacked her. And I just realized that women are a very important part of our society, and I think that without women we won't be where we are right now.
Well, I guess watching Malala's life story really inspired me that that age is not a hindrance for you to be a hero, and I admire her like so much because at such an early age, at 16, she's been a voice of the youth, of women and children in her country at that time. And compared to what I'm already 17, but then I think that, you know, she's so young, and it's so amazing that she already did something that is worth acknowledgement from leaders all around the world.
I believe Malala really set a good example to all the teenagers around the world, for at such a young age she already knew how to stand for what she believed is right. And it is really admiring because it is hard to voice out something, especially that her culture treat girls as a weak one. I think she really proves that the saying kabataan ay pag-asa ng bayan is still somehow true despite the problem among the teenagers nowadays. And she also shows that everyone can be a part of a change.
Education. I have the right to play, I have the right to sing, I have the right to talk, I have the right to go to market, I have the right to speak up.
She's become the voice for girls around the world. In 2011, CNN interviewed Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani girl who gained international headlines 2 years earlier for speaking out for girls' education through a blog she wrote under a pseudonym.
When I see my name in the newspaper, I feel that, yeah, God has given this honor to me and I shall accept it.
Malala's life changed forever on October 9th,